serial bomber has sent explosive devices to Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, major Democratic donor George Soros, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Maxine Waters, and CNN. Authorities don't have a suspect yet, but based on the intended targets, they have released this sketch.
Well, talk to anybody responsible for forming our perceptions about news or culture in this country, talk show hosts, late-night comedians, and almost all of them will admit that hatred in America, American against American, is getting to crisis and scary levels, and they feel sad about it. Ask them who's responsible, though, and they will always point to people they disagree with politically. They will never concede that their unreasonableness or their stupidity had anything to do with creating the culture that they so disapprove of. Are they right? Joe Concha watches the media for a living for the Hill newspaper, and he joins us tonight. Joe, thanks a lot for coming on. So I wonder if the news media, and I'm happy to include myself in that, played some role in getting us to where we are, do you think?
I think absolutely, Tucker, no question about it. I mean, Colbert and his 17 writers must have been taking cues from certain quarters of cable news. And I'm going to bring up CNN in a second, and I wish I didn't have to, because I'm sure if you were in that building yesterday, you're just some associate producer, you're just a guy who's an editor, a cameraman, and somebody on air. You must have been horrified by what you were experiencing.
And there's some really, I know, I used to work there. There are a lot of nice people over there. I felt sorry for them. I always do. I'm sorry for them.
Absolutely. I still have friends there, too, as well. And look, I was hoping the network then, therefore, would be measured and sober and like the old CNN of Aaron Brown and Campbell Scott, Bernard Shaw, and just pursue the facts without pointing fingers and particularly going after the president, as they so often reflexively do. And then I'm watching one anchor, John King, who's been there for a while and who I like, and he said this today. He said, no one is blaming the president. Is anyone blaming the president? Because the president now wants to make this about him. And then I asked your producers to put up these two chyrons, or basically the lower thirds that you see right there, graphics basically. And here's one of them. It says, Trump has no plans to bear any personal responsibility for inciting serial bomber, which assumes an awful lot when you think about it. And it sounds like 2011 when Gabby Giffords, Tucker, in Arizona, right? Sarah Palin was accused of that shooting because she targeted that district, targeted as in we want to take it back politically, and people automatically assume the shooter, Jared Loughner, had carried it out because Sarah Palin incited him to. It turns out he had no political leanings whatsoever, and he was just a deranged individual, right? And then the second Chiron, I'll just get this for you real quick. Manhunt for serial bomber going after Trump's targets. I mean, this is unbelievably irresponsible. We work in the least self-aware business in the industry. You look at these people and you say, how could you be so obtuse? Is it intentional? So I thought I'd get a different CNN. I thought they'd be measured, and instead I got these kind of chyrons pointing the finger at the president when they have no idea what incited this deranged lunatic that's sending all these bombs.
Well, that's right. I mean, if there are copies of emails between Trump and the mad bomber saying, you know, go ahead, take out my enemies, but there aren't those. I mean, have I missed news developments tonight?
No, you have not. And you say, does the media bear responsibility? Look at the New York Times on Monday, Tucker, right? I mean, they had a story about, they talked to 5 fictional writers fantasizing about how the president will be removed from office, including an assassination by a Secret Service agent. I mean, what? That's the Gray Lady, the prominent news organization pushing this crap, and it's crap, Tucker. And they're absolutely responsible, partly responsible for the temperature of this country today.
I don't want to add to that garbage. I hope this show doesn't. I really mean that. Joe, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Fair to call this the most dysfunctional